Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is my review on the Huda Beauty limited edition textured rose gold palette. Sorry ahead of time if I'm squinting. It's a really hot, bright day today and the window's in front of me. As always guys, markers will be in the description box if you want to skip ahead to any certain area because I'm going to be giving you some information on Huda, cost comparisons, things like that. So Huda is currently 33 years old. I'm starting to feel old. I'm reviewing these. The last two people are both 33 years old. I'm like, I'm going to be 35. Born in Oklahoma to Iraqi parents, and she was raised in Tennessee in the United States. When she lived in the Western world, she went by the name of Heidi. Huda attended college in Michigan where she studied finance, and that's also where she met her husband. I read that Huda said in college, before she really understood what a blog was, she used to send email blasts out to all of her friends showing like new makeup products and the latest makeup trends. So Huda decided finance wasn't for her. I read in an interview that she worked for 3 months in the market and she was just like, I don't like this, and it made her really miserable. She decided to go to cosmetology school and she went to Joe Blasco's makeup school, which is one of the top makeup schools in the country. And then her and her husband moved to Dubai in 2008. In 2010, Huda started her blog, which was an outlet for her emerging makeup artist career at the time. And today her blog has become the preeminent beauty authority in the Middle Eastern region. She started her Instagram in May 2012, and today she has over 15.4 million followers, which that's a lot of people. Her YouTube channel says it was created in January 13th of 2007, but that may have just been when she was watching too. And today on that channel, she has about 1.5 million subscribers. Today I am wearing some Huda lashes. I actually love these lashes, and this was the first product that she launched in her line. She launched these in February of 2013, and these are all made by hand. Today I am wearing the Scarlet pair. Next came the lip contours and the liquid lipsticks. I have both of these waiting in my pile for review. They haven't even been opened yet. I know I'm behind on those. I need to catch up. And then next came this limited edition eyeshadow palette. I didn't think it was limited edition, but I read on Huda's blog that she said it is limited edition. So once these are gone, these are gone. So Huda has built this beauty empire around her dreams and her hustle. I really respect and admire that. So this palette went live on her website on September 28th, and the website kept crashing. I went on to get it and the site wouldn't even load. And then later I heard that they said they're just gonna try the next day. And then I actually got a message on Instagram letting me know that it worked for them. So I hopped on, and after like a couple times refreshing, I was able to get it. This palette was $65 with $20 shipping from Dubai because it launched originally just on her site, which I was like, damn, that's a lot of shipping. Or you got free shipping at $70. So I was $5 away from that. So I already had the lip contours and the liquid lipstick, and I know I liked the lashes. So I bought another pair of the Samantha lashes, which are some of my favorite, and those were $20. So for these two things, I paid $85. I figured I might as well, if this was gonna be $85 anyway with the shipping, I might as well have gotten a free pair of lashes, basically. The palette sold out very quickly, which is expected given her following. I actually got the notification from DHL that this shipped the day after I bought it, which was pretty impressive. And then this was delivered October 4th by DHL, which that totally justified the $20 shipping for me because sometimes I order things from LA that take longer to get up to me up in San Francisco. So I was pretty impressed with that. This is set to be released in Sephora's on November 6th. It's been available in the Dubai Sephora since October 14th, I believe. So this was the outer packaging. It's just like that same packaging that she's become known for if you see people doing that eye thing, and it's just the sleeve that the palette slides right into. I've seen a lot of people say they don't like this packaging. It is a little light, but I will say I like clear tops to be able to see the shadows that are in there. It just helps me when I'm getting ready to grab for something. I mean, if this was going to be glass, you'd run into possibly breaking and glassing your shadows. This is like a heavy duty or like a thicker piece of plastic. It's not like the type that you can just bend like those little, like kind of like what this is wrapped in. It's not like that. It's a little harder. It is very like plain. It just says Huda Beauty on the top here. All of the ingredients are listed on the back of the shell though. It's not on the palette. In this palette, you are getting 18 shades. Each shade is 1 gram, so you're getting a total of 18 grams of product. This palette contains 3 different types of finishes, which they are calling textures. Which I thought the name texture sounded weird for an eyeshadow because I never think I want texture on my face in any way, shape, or form. but I understand what they were going for given once you kind of use these heavier 3D foils. So you're getting 6 3D metals, which are these top 5 in this one. You're getting 2 pressed pearls, which are these last 2 shadows, and then you're getting 10 deep mattes. Huda has said on her page, on her YouTube channel, and it says on the insert on this palette that these metals are meant to be used with your finger. I mean, they did say that straight out. I did test these with a brush though, because you guys know I don't care to use my fingers with shadows, mostly because of the length of my nail. Trying to get into the corners of my eye with any precision don't work well. So if you don't have nails, it shouldn't be a problem for you. I did try with a brush, and you'll see in the swatches, it did not work. But I did also try with a silicone tipped applicator that I use with my Stila's metals, and it does work somewhat, but it does work best with your fingers. I did do a demo of this look that I'm wearing today so you guys can see how these shadows apply. I'm not going to do the entire look. I'm just going to show you the eyeshadows applying. I did my wing liner off camera, my lashes, and my lower lash line, but you will see the top part. These shadows are made in Italy. They have a 12-month shelf life, and these are all talc-free. These do contain beeswax, so they are not vegan, and I don't see any cruelty-free claims on any of this packaging. They may be, but I don't see that marked anywhere. Okay, now let's talk about cost. Right here, guys, I wanted to show you cost per gram. I've been putting all my palettes in here so you can get a better idea. I'm showing some that are less expensive cost per gram, and then some that are more expensive, kind of placing it right in the middle there so you can get a good gauge. The palette is $65, which is a lot. You are getting 18 grams of product, which is a lot compared to some of these other palettes. You can see that the cost per shadow is $3.61, and that's also what the cost per gram is. You are getting a decent value for how many shadows that she is giving you. Now I just wanted to sort this by cost so you can see other palettes that are around the $65 range, so you can kind of gauge how much you're getting in those other palettes to see if it's a good deal. You are getting a good value per cost. Keep in mind, I damn near choked when they said $65 for a palette, because I was like, I'm expecting if I'm spending that amount, and since I had to get it quickly because I have no patience, I would have had to pay that $20 for shipping. So in my mind, that made this palette $85. Even though I know it's not, and I can't calculate it like that, that's originally, I felt like, okay, if I want this palette, it's gonna cost me $85. So in my mind, I was like, this has to be like Viseart quality mattes. That's what I was expecting. I typed up the ingredients on the back of this palette because they weren't listed anywhere online, and I did a search to see if they were private labeled by anywhere that we could get them less expensive, and I don't see anything listed online. So these appear to be unique to her brand. All the 3D metals have the same formula, just with different color additives. Both of the pressed pearls are different formulas. All the mattes except for Black Truffle share the same formula. Black Truffle is different. Now, I was actually shocked to see that because these 3 mattes are my favorite in the palette, these last 3 mattes. And I'll get into that in the swatches a little bit later. Let me talk about my feelings on these shadows. These 3D metals are very pretty shadows if you can apply them with your finger, if you're comfortable doing that, if you're comfortable digging your fingers in, if you're just applying them to yourself, or if you use something like this Stila. This is for the Magnificent Metals. This works well to kind of pack it on without having to get my nails in, and I can get in that corner a little better. I almost wish that this palette came with a little silicone tip brush like that, because I think that that would work nicely with those. I have to say, these shadows do perform better on the eyes than they swatch. They swatch terribly. I was actually really shocked. Like these, the metals swatch beautiful with a finger. I don't find that the mattes swatch well with a finger or a brush. The metals don't swatch well with a brush at all. So the shadows I like are actually this whole top row, Blessed, and then these last 3 ones, which gives me a total of 10 shadows out of the 18 that I do like. For me, these mattes just fell really short. They felt really dry, not super pigmented. I did try to see if it was like a tough top layer, you know, if something's pressed hard. So I kind of like rub my finger against them a bunch to try to get some color out. And I'm going to tell you guys how I do my swatches, because I've seen some swatches online and I'm like, where the hell? Like sometimes I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Like I feel like I must be losing my mind because I swatch something and then I see other like pages or Instagram accounts or something swatch those, and I'm like, how many swipes did you take? Like literally in my mind, they must be rubbing their finger like this and going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, back in for more color and back and forth, because That's what it looks like with all of that pressure and all of those swipes. When I swatch something, I take a little bit on my finger and I wipe it down. I wipe it once, I don't wipe it multiple times, because I think like when people swatch like that, if you're rubbing your finger in a ton and then rubbing it back and forth and going back in and building, what is even the point of a swatch? You might as well just look at it in the pan, because that's exactly what it's going to look like. It doesn't translate onto how well you build them up onto your eyes. Do you know what I mean? Maybe not. My favorite out of this entire palette for the mattes is Man Eater. That is a very gorgeous color. I really do like Angelic. I have rose gold on my eye today. Fling, Dubai. Those are pretty colors. If I break this down based on the amount of what I like, the 10 shadows, this palette comes out to $6.50 per eyeshadow cost for me, as well as $6.50 per gram for me, which that is a very high cost. And while these mattes don't perform well with a swatch, some of these do perform better on the eye with a brush. Some of them do take a little more building. I saw an Instagram account named Angela Tanner, I believe it's Angela Tanner. I will link her page below. I saw that she laid out like some dupes for this palette, which I actually have the shadows behind me. I don't know if my chair is blocking it. So I wanted to take a look. A lot of them were Makeup Geek. And so I was just curious. To replace 3D metal shadows, the closest formula would be the Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadows. These two that are their pearls are kind of like their duochromes, and then the 10 mattes. So Makeup Geek's foils are $10 each. Their duos and mattes are $6 each. So 60 plus 12 plus 60 to buy 18 of those Makeup Geek shadows would cost you $132. You'd also be getting 32.4 grams of product, which is almost double what you're getting in here. So today on my eyes, I wanted to use as many colors as I could. I used Shy as my transition. I went in with Flamingo a little above my crease. Then I went in with Man Eater in my crease. Then I put some Bossy on the outside corners. I went all over the lid with Angelic. And then I was gonna try to just take the rose gold from the middle of my eye out, but I just looked better to put it all over my lid, so I went all over with that. Then on the bottom of my eye, I smoked out some sandalwood. Then I went in with a little bit of Flamingo, and then I lined my line with Cocoa, and then I put some black liner down there. I have used every single color in this palette multiple times, trying it different ways. While I really like the color scheme of this palette, I really do. I was expecting more out of the mattes. That's what I'll say. These are pretty, but I don't think it justifies a $65 price tag. So guys, as always, my friend Ripley has swatched these for me on deeper skin tones. I'm going to link her Instagram below. You guys should follow her. Also, I will list her foundation shade if you have any questions. Ripley swatches in the same manner I do, with a base, finger, brush swatch below it. Okay guys, let's get into some swatches. I've laid down a base of Urban Decay's Primer Potion. I will be swatching the matte shades with my MAC 239 brush, and I will be swatching the shimmers with my MAC 242 brush. I will be cleaning my brush off in between swatches on my color switch so my brush will not be damp. I will do a finger swatch above, and then I will do the brush swatch right below it so you can see the difference. I've seen some reviews of people that love this palette, that are swearing by this palette. As always, guys, this is just my opinion. I'm not saying that everybody feels the same way. Everybody has different preferences, different ways they like to put on their shadows. I will say it works a little better when you have like an impactful, like shimmery, bright color on your lid to just kind of keep it a little more muted up in your crease and things, so it's not just like bam in your face. I believe that this is going to be in stores too. I don't think it's just going to be online. So I would just urge you guys to go into store and swatch it for yourself and see if this is in your wheelhouse. And do keep in mind that this does apply better than swatch with a finger. So maybe ask one of the makeup artists in there, cast members, to try this on your eyes for you. So I really do respect Huda. I really love her lashes. I still have these two products to try out, which I will soon to add to my liquid lipstick review series. I know she works really hard, and she really does care. She really does want to make sure that people are happy with her products. I don't think that she's just like trying to stick it to anybody. So while I respect Huda, I don't care for this palette. I would not repurchase, and I would not recommend. I just wish the matte formulas were better. If the matte formulas were better, and you got these metals, I would say this palette would be totally worth it. I just, again, don't care for the matte formulas in here. I'm going to link some reviews below that rave about this palette so you guys can check it out yourself. Admittedly, I am picky, so I don't want to discourage you guys. I know so many of you guys were really looking forward to this. I was too. You know, I'm just picky, and it's just personal preference. My next video I have on deck for you guys is my Vintner's Daughter review. I have my toners and essence video that I took all my notes on, that I still have to like kind of organize my thoughts in a manner that flows. And I have like my skincare. I'm trying to do my Sephora recommendations for the sale. I know I'm super behind. Thank you for bearing with me, guys, and having some patience. I hope you guys found this review helpful. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.